So he
recording
has made many episodes where like alcohol is bad for you. You shouldn't have more than one drink a week or something. Otherwise, it negatively impacts your sleep cycles and this area of thing.
Yeah.
But then he has one on nicotine, and he says, obviously there's obvious things that are negative about nicotine, but there's not too many studies that show for tobacco. There's a bunch of negative stuff for tobacco.
Yeah.
Not so much the nicotine. Nicotine's highly addictive, but he did say there's, I forget, he listed off a bunch of professors at Ivy League universities, and so he listed off people that will take some form of nicotine, tobacco-free nicotine, and it'll just get their brain going.
Oh, like doing a pouch or something?
Something, yeah. Like one guy, he's like, he just chews nicotine gum when he's working on a paper or thesis or something.
Okay, so if you did that, you would still get addicted to nicotine, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you have the higher likelihood of getting addicted. It's like one of the most addicting chemicals there is, like one of them.
I know, I thought heroin's one of those too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think.
It's really, like, most people will get hooked right off the bat.
Yeah, there's a large portion of people that once you apparently experience that, their brain recircuits and is like, no, that is what I have to have, which is bonkers to think about.
I was having a discussion actually with a customer about like marijuana even, and I mean, this is probably not going to be a popular opinion, but speaking of Huberman, I mean, you're talking about chemicals that are, hey, you are adding a different chemical to your brain chemistry. And I don't know. We started talking about like that and then other harder drugs, and I brought up the idea of, everybody's always said it's a gateway drug. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well, if you're seeking out like a high of some sort, I mean, I've never done weed, so I guess I can't speak on it from experience at all, but as I've understood it, like, eventually you can become numb to it, right?
I think it's like alcohol, where if you have it a lot, your body builds a tolerance to it, and you need more of it to get the same effect.
Right, like a functioning alcoholic, kind of.
Yeah. You just build a tolerance, and then it takes more of it to make you feel the same.
Yeah. And what I wondered about that was like, okay, well, what if you do get to that point of, okay, I can't get a high anymore. Well, but I want that high. Like, I think that I don't think you get addicted to, you can't get addicted to marijuana, but I think you can get addicted to the feeling of getting high.
Yeah.
Or the dopamine, at least, that it releases from you getting high, because it is making you feel good. You're getting you're getting some sort of you're getting something out of it.
Right.
And that's enough, I think, to warrant like I want another high.
Yeah, I want to feel that.
Yeah.
Again, or like I like how I feel that way, and I don't like how I feel when I'm not doing that.
Right, and that's where I think it's different than like let's say eating. Like, I don't think you get like a normal, what would be qualified as a high from eating. Like there is that feeling of like, oh, I feel so good and full, and this tastes so good and everything.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you get that same like chemical response of, oh, I feel so good after, smoking a joint. That's the way I've understood it anyways.
Yeah.
So we had kind of talked about that, and like, okay, I guess in a way it can be a gateway drug just because of the I want to continue to get high, and I'm seeking out that feeling of getting high. What are you? I'll come back to that.
Yeah,
Okay,
that makes sense. I know that there's I've heard people like Joe Rogan or something say that he's known people that took edibles, which are supposed to be have a higher probability of making you like hallucinate. They're just more intense.
Yeah.
And I think some of that stuff, they're harder to know how much of it you're taking.
Yeah, I think so too.
The doses, like when people smoke vapes or Juuls or something, because you can do it that way, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's harder to know how much you're getting.
Yeah, it's hard to like quantify. Like, oh, I took this. I took like a 40 milliliter breath or something like that.
So,
like,
yeah,
you can't gauge it.
Yeah. So he said he's known people that took way too much edibles, and it like made them go psychotic. Basically, like they might have been predisposed to having mental issues, but because they did things in such high doses, it like pushed them over the edge, past the breaking point they couldn't come back from.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
that's probably pretty rare. He's like, that's probably not everybody. It's only people that are, predisposed to it. But
oh no, I know where I'm supposed to go. Dang it.
It is funny though. There's like a higher acceptance for people that would take like a gummy or something versus somebody that would smoke.
I mean, my personal feeling with it is, I think the only reason I'm way more okay with it is just because I have never cared for the smell.
Yeah,
like it's kind of like alcohol. Hey, if you want to be an alcoholic and drink in your own house, and you want to get drunk, or if you want to get drunk with your buddies or whatever else, hey, fine by me. I have no problem with that. I mean, just don't hurt anybody. Don't go and drive. For the love of all that's good. I know that's accepted now, kind of, but don't drive. It's not worth it. I've heard so many stories of drunk drivers. I would almost rather you be super high and smoked a ton of weed and stayed home and called DoorDash than get in your car after being at like a party or something and deciding I can still drive home, I'm fine.
Right.
And then you fall asleep at the wheel, or you swerve into traffic and you kill somebody. You've heard stories. There's tons of stories where people like get in a head-on accident and the other person, it is never the person who's drunk who dies in those accidents.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is actually because their body is so loosened up from the alcohol that they just like ragdoll through the accident, and that ends up actually protecting them.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And I know that from my brother being on EMS, like he's told me a lot of stories about those people. Like they'll go through the windshield and they'll get up and walk away still.
Yep.
It's crazy. But then the other person, they're just on their way home from, I don't know, their boyfriend or girlfriend's house, and they get in a head-on crash and they die. And I'm just like, don't. Hey, if you want to go kill yourself, I mean, that's up to you. I don't do it, but also, like,
don't let your selfish decision cost somebody else.
Right. If you're going to be stupid and put your life in jeopardy, fine. Put your own life in jeopardy. That's up to you. But don't put somebody else's in jeopardy. I'm not okay with that. That shouldn't be a controversial topic at all.
No, I think for the most part, everybody's like, "Yep, that's a hard line."
Yeah,
it's a hard line for people until they accidentally do it, and then they're like, "Oh."
Yeah. Where is that last red coin? I know it's around here. Is it right here? Please. Oh, gosh, please. Oh, it's not. I'm going to go to the basement. Anyway, so that's my little, dad spiel.
Yeah. Stay cool, don't.
I don't know. It's kind of like, I'm really not okay with, even though that we just had whiskey and beer as we're sitting here, but like, again, I think it's something where, hey, if the substance if the substance controls you over you controlling it, then you should probably just not do it anymore because you can't handle it. That's what it comes down to.
It's like the whole everything in moderation kind of mentality. It's
Yeah.
like if you can just do something and then walk away from it and it doesn't impact you, then you're probably okay. If you think you need something, then it's probably not good for you any longer.
Yeah.
Or serving you.
I mean, even like pain pills, I know that's a really big one. It's
an epidemic.
Too. It's an epidemic.
Opiates.
Well, yeah, there's that. I mean, I was just
Prescription.
thinking, like, hey, there are people who, they get high on Tylenol. They don't. Nobody gets high on Tylenol. Do people get high on Tylenol? No,
I don't know.
Get high on Tylenol. Except for Donnie. He took like
I'll tell you one that I found out was crazy. I've never done it. Is whippets.
Oh, whippets.
Whippets.
Wait, is that the one where you knock out?
It's. I probably shouldn't describe how to do it. It involves.
Let's preface it with don't do it.
It involves.
Tell me what it is.
Whipped cream, like the gases that are in.
What?
The compressed air, the compressed gases that are in whipped cream cans or something. You can inhale a bunch of that really fast, huge quantities of that, and then it will, like, it can knock you out, but it can just like choke your brain off, and then whatever, it could just make you really high for a short period of time.
Okay.
I've witnessed it. I've seen people that have done them, and I'm like, whoa, that's.
I
don't understand that.
What did you ever have the kids who would? I don't know if there's a name for it, but they would purposefully pass out to see stars. Did you ever do that in middle school?
No.
Because I can remember, like, I remember some girls doing it at one point, where I'm trying to remember how it goes. Like, basically, you do this, like, you hyperventilate, and then somebody grabs you from the back.
Yeah.
And, they grab you from the back. You, like, cross your arms in front of your chest. You hyperventilate. The other person grabs you, and then a third person, like, comes up and shoves you in the chest. And while the other person is holding you, and it knocks you out.
No, I've never witnessed that.
I remember watching it. I'm like, why? 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 That doesn't look fun. That just looks painful.
You gotta try this.
And then you see stars, and I'm like, those
okay.
must be some pretty spectacular stars.
Sometimes it happens by accident when I stand up too fast.
Right?
And I have to sit down.
Right there. Come on. That's where that was? Behind the piano. Yes. We're old.
Yeah. It's probably weirder stuff now that we're not even aware of.
Oh, my Joy-Con remote is low.
Is that what it's called?
No. A Joy-Con?
Is that what it's the name
Yeah,
of
they're
it
called
is?
Joy-Cons.
What?
How did you not know? You have one. Brian, boys have a Joy-Con. Girls have a... What do girls have?
I don't know if there's anything comparable.
Do girls not have Joy-Cons? What do they pee on? They don't pee out of their Joy-Cons. Wow, Jared. Good stuff. Good stuff.
It is funny though, especially have daughters and they're like, "How do guys pee?" And you're like, "You'll figure it out." It's
We've got a hose.
yeah.
Yup. Oh, what?
I thought the light I thought the bulb just went out.
Oh my gosh, the garage is on fire. Hide your kids and hide your wife.
We have so many old references.
We do.
If you were around 10 years ago, you might pick up on them.
You never get me, Freezy Pop.
I don't
Do you
remember that
remember
one. No.
From the Oni cartoons, the Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah. Yeah, pretty. You know, okay, so I don't know if we are. Is that what's going on? So
We're in your garage, Brian. It's okay.
People were way more into Dragon Ball Z than I thought. Did we talk about that?
No. But we can talk about it
in
next
the next
time
episode
on Smart Donkeys.
Smart asses.
Smart
donkeys.
Nailed it!